How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring you along with me to talk about the essential gear you'll need when you want to take your photography serious. So let's jump right into it. So you want to take your photography seriously. So we're going to talk a little bit of the essential things you'll actually need for when you want to upgrade your level instead of just using your phone and you want to dive into a little bit more professional gear. First and most obvious thing you'll need is a camera that can change lenses, do manual mode, whether it's like the ISO, aperture, shutter speed, and stuff like that, so you can learn the basics, and can shoot raw. Now with my example, obviously that gear itself is more expensive than what you'll need. There are plenty of cameras that can get you started for under $1,000 and even under $500. So there is really no need to worry about, oh, everybody has all this expensive gear and everything like that. Everybody started from somewhere, and that's the reason why a lot of people say gear does not matter, when essentially it does matter. Obviously it can make your life easier, but don't let that stop you from starting and being able to create. I started with a Sony a6000 and the lens kit. I got it for under $500 because it was on a Black Friday deal. Currently, I think it's at $600 or something like that, but it's still a great camera for the price point that it is. It's not under $500 just now, but if you want to look up for anything used, you can find cameras that are under $500 that you can get yourself started. Adorama and B&H are great companies that you can look into for used gear, whether it's for lenses or camera bodies, and just kind of can find anything that works for your budget. The great thing about this camera, the Sony a6000, whenever I first got it, it helped me understand more basically all the basics, whether it was my ISO, understanding what it did, the shutter speed, the aperture, and just learning more manual mode for video and photography. That's one of the main things that will set you apart than just simply going and clicking with everything auto. You want to learn how to better make your photos with your settings and the composition itself that will help you stand out with your photography and keep learning your skills. And now with having a cheaper body that you can invest in, the good thing is it leaves you more budget for better lenses. Better lenses, in my opinion, is something to start with more than the camera body itself. A lot of cameras nowadays, even the mirrorless like the Sony a6000, are 24 megapixels, which is more than enough pixels to take cool photos, especially if you're starting out to put on social media or even some client work as well. A lot of the times you can find very cheap used gear to be able to kind of compensate for saving some money. For example, I bought my 85mm Sony lens used in Adorama for $350 when new it was about $550. So that saved me a little bit of chunk of money when it came down to investing into better lenses. My mistake when I first started is I started buying lenses for my APS-C censored camera. So what I recommend is if you're knowing that you're going to want to stick with a certain brand, let's say it's Fujifilm, Sony, Canon, and so on, and eventually you want to grow into the full frame lineup, I would recommend to invest into the full frame lenses because you can use your full frame lenses onto your APS-C censored camera and it's just gonna do the cropping that it would do normally anyway. So with that said, you are able to save that money already whenever you do upgrade the body of your camera to go into a full frame lineup. I had literally all my prime lenses that I got from my APS-C sensor camera were for APS-C. So whenever I was upgrading to my Sony a7 III that I'm using to video, I sadly had to go through the hassle of selling everything back. But the cool thing is I got all my lenses used whenever I bought them from my Sony a6000. So I essentially literally sold them all for about the same money that I had bought them for. So it's almost like I just borrowed the lenses for a while to learn more and then I decided to upgrade. So when it comes down to it, if you're able to save some money by buying used gear, just make sure that it works fine and make sure that it's making you feel comfortable with the purchase. So Adorama and B&H are great because they obviously have to have a certain standard for selling it. But if you use your Facebook Marketplace or anything like that, just make sure you test it out and see how it turns out. Now, the second thing that you'll need is software for editing. Software is very important because you have to understand what you're using every little aspect of it for when it comes down to editing. Do not go cheap when it comes down to this. I know that there's ways that you can get Lightroom and Adobe and all that stuff, products a certain way, but I recommend just really investing into it. If you want to get Lightroom and Photoshop, it's like $10 a month, and if you're a student, it will be less money. I recommend it because I think it's going to be a great way for you to learn better. There's other softwares as well, so whatever makes you feel comfortable, that's fine. There is more help in my opinion when it comes down to the Adobe series because most people tend to go with that. So that's my personal opinion on that if you're wanting to get more information for how to edit better on Lightroom. The best thing that you can do with this software is just try and experiment when it comes down to the editing part of it and learning what everything does. There's great information obviously on YouTube, and also if you're into presets and want to buy the presets from your favorite creator, not only are you supporting them, but you're also supporting yourself in the knowledge that you're going to get from it. You can see what they're using the presets for, what adjustment they did, and everything like that. Just don't get carried away with it, in my personal opinion, because a lot of people tend to just click it and say, wow, my photo is magically better. Not every preset is made for a one-click wonder, so just kind of see what they're working on and see how you can modify it to your liking. It's best to create your own style and just have fun with it and keep learning. Now, step 3, speaking about learning a second ago, we are going to be talking about the most important one in my opinion when it comes down to these steps: education and knowledge. It's always great to understand that you need to keep improving no matter what level you are. I always believe that no matter how much better you keep getting, you still need to keep improving yourself through knowledge and education. Always great to find information on YouTube, just scrolling around, finding your favorite creator, seeing what they can provide of information for free for you on YouTube or Google or anything like that. Do not strive away from actually buying courses online. They are not the worst thing in the world, in my opinion. You can find really great courses for relatively cheap and or a good investment in yourself for your education. I myself bought the Short Stash Base Set workshop back in March of 2020, and I thought it was a phenomenal workshop. I did a video about the edits that I learned of how to do and everything like that, and I felt more confident with my editing style that I took from him to learn how to get my own style and just feel comfortable with the stuff that I was creating, whether it's my colors and my composition, even when it came down to my shots and my photos. So I know a lot of people will go, oh, but they're just trying to make money off of you and everything like that. And to a certain degree, yes, they are trying to make money. Last time I checked, we're all in the same boat trying to create money for ourselves when it comes down to anything that we're doing. I'm sure you want to be paid one day for your photography and videography skills, so don't feel that it's a bad thing to invest in their courses, and just don't think that they're just trying to sell you something. It's always good to find reviews if you can and see what would be best for you to grow your knowledge, but looking into courses that are a couple $100s is better in my opinion than spending thousands of dollars going to college for photography and then figuring out that you do not like it and then you want to drop out and now you're in debt thousands of dollars because of school and universities. Especially here in the US, they like to do that, so might as well invest a couple $100s and dip your toe and see what you like best. So don't forget, find a camera that will help you grow your skills, that can change lenses, let you do manual settings so that you can dive into deeper with your knowledge. Get that software, don't go cheap on it, learn it, everything, what little details it does, and most of all, keep educating yourself to keep growing your knowledge. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, share this video with a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.